Welcome to TikTok Live. Have fun interacting with your viewers in real time. Remember to create a safe viewing experience by following our community. Double standards. It's been a while since I got kicked off, but we'll see what happens. Going live like we usually do on Sundays at 11:30 on the East Coast. Joanna Nene. Joanna Nene. You're number one. You get the first whistle today. You a lot of numbers. Boxcart Born is here. Dubtown Smokers. All right. Early contender for best name of the day. The Dubtown Smokers. Love that. Non-crazy, crazy cat lady is here. My girl. The Danish dumpling. The darling of Denmark. Made love to her in my dreams last night, and it was spectacular. I recommend it to everyone. What's going on, people? I got YouTube up on the other camera. We are here. I actually learned how to open Windows because I'm an idiot. I never thought of waking up with separate windows, so I can always at least have the YouTube screen up while I'm looking at my other notes on the other screen. What's up, Gustavo? ¿Cómo está, mi amigo? Happy fucking Sunday, atheist people. Florida Graham is here, among other people's. Sorry if I missed any names. M. Appy Z. If you need a toot out, if you need a whistle out, just hit me up in the comments here, and I will try to get to you. 03 Brando. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here, everybody. Chris Ramsey 74. And thanks as always to all my loyal followers and listeners. Love you people so much. Even the trolls. Every troll helps the train roll, as we like to say, but do respect the rules. Please, if you're going to be here, no loud radios, no spitting, and no preaching on the train. If you preach on the train, you get the whistle if I see you. If my mods see you, including Scott, the non-crazy, crazy cat lady, who'll always be flirting with somebody in Danish on the fucking TikTok. We'll kick you off. They will kick you right off the train. They'll throw you right out the side, and you'll be like down the fucking hill as you go rolling to your doom. So yeah, just keep it light. We don't mind. We have Christians out here who are cool and want to ask questions. But I get a lot of people who came at me in the last couple of days with the why do you care what people believe? Why do you care what people believe? Let people who believe in God, let them believe what they want to believe. Well, that's what we're all about. I don't feel like I'm trying to change people's minds. I don't feel like I'm here trying to convert Christians. I don't feel like there's any Christians who really watch. The ones who do are few and far between, and they're either baffled and interested or they're trolling. But I don't feel like we're trying to convert anybody. I feel like that's a lost cause anyway. I'd say it's got a fruitless effort would be to try to convert Christians. If people are on the fence, yeah, we give them a kick in the ass. But as far as trying to convert people, no, I don't really. If I create that impression, I'm sorry. And I guess I can't really help it if I do. But that's really not the mission here. We just want it out of government, man. We want it out of government. We want it out of our schools. We don't want people preaching to our kids in daily life like it was a fucking duty in society to be a Christian in America, like it's a duty to thank a veteran, or like it's a duty to fucking, who knows, fly a flag. I don't know, whatever it is, whatever authority mandated custom that they're trying to get you to do. Yeah, we don't want it. We want to live in a society where you are free to practice a religion and we're free to not. And so, part of that for me is making fun of that shit. Why is Jesus white? Florida Graham, yeah. So if I miss your questions, stick them in the question box down below, and I'll try to get to them. If you got something you really want me to talk about, and I'm not seeing it because I'm ranting, then please just take the time to put it in there, or keep at me, and I will get it. Jesus is white because he was modeled after Renaissance era models, art models. Really, who do they have to? They didn't have any pictures. They didn't have any likenesses. It's funny. The Romans could make likenesses of everybody else, but Jesus being such an important state criminal, nobody had bothered to do a death mask or an engraving or a coin or whatever it was. Some kind of record of how he looked. So when it came around to making art about Jesus, they used models. They used long, brown-haired, light-skinned or olive-skinned at best Italian, probably, models. And people have a lot of theories about that, right? It was one of the Borgia sons, the gay lover of Michelangelo or Da Vinci, or Leonardo, more correctly. I shouldn't call him Da Vinci. Someone like that. There doesn't seem to be any real consensus on that, but people bring that up all the time. That's why Jesus is white. And again, it sets up a psychological trap where assimilated peoples or enslaved peoples are shown a white god that they have to look up to aspire to, and it creates a real I am less than, and I need to aspire to whiteness. It's all really, really insidious. Yeah, Christian again, that's just part of it. Christianity's threat of damnation is also a toxic relationship thing, right? Call dance. Thank you for that. That's you're absolutely right. Um, how do I know which things in my head are real and which are imaginary? I don't know, man. What's in your head? uh, if you're having issues with that and you're worried about it, then I would seek help, honestly. But that's my best advice to you. But if it's in your head, you can make a case that it's all imaginary, right? But the things that are real are verified by the fact that they're in everybody else's head too. So if you got things in your head that nobody else has and that are scary to you, um, get help. If they're just your imagination, that's what great writing comes from, and great drama and great fiction, right? So, and art of any kind. So, you do you, man, and embrace, but do get help if you're having any questions in that area. Why are Satanists better Christians than Christians? Everybody's a better Christian than Christians. It's not just Satanists. Satanists do not have the market cornered on being better Christians than Christians, right? Gandhi was the original better Christian than any Christian. All the atheists I know are better Christians. Satanists, a lot of them are, some of them aren't, but yeah, it's not surprising. Christians are the worst Christians. Betty Florence, what's up? Truth is an illusion says it's all imaginary. I love that. It goes right with the guy's name, right? I know you're talking to him, not at him, but yeah. Um, I didn't notice that was old dude's name. Give you one. Truth is an illusion. Here's to you, bud. Hope you get good. Why would atheists try to convert? We're not trying to get money or power out of anyone, and we don't have any dogma that unites us or doctrine or liturgy that we all are trying to follow that commands us. What's up, Frodo T. Baggins? I don't think I noticed that. You've been out here before, I'm pretty sure. But I don't think I noticed Frodo T. Baggins. All right, you're in the lead now. Frodo T. Baggins, best name of the day so far. Hola, hello, 45410. Guerrera, ¿por qué le dice guerrera? ¿Es muy guerrera? Pues creo que sí. I'm just rolling back through the comments here. Nobody's on YouTube yet. I do have it split up, so you can follow on YouTube if you want to, and do please pull down the menu in the front on my bio and follow us on YouTube. We're really trying to get to 1,000, and we're getting there slowly. People are joining every week. Bigotry is alive and well. I see. Is it? Who's being a bigot? Of course, bigotry is alive and well. The Mad Hatter. Capital toots from the Mad Hatter, because the Mad Hatter, the proud fan of a Buffalo Bills franchise that has won a playoff game and overcome the hated Patriots. Good for Buffalo, man. Can they win another? Will they go far? Will they go deep into the playoffs? It was pretty cold there. You got cold weather, my boy? Yeah, bigotry is alive and well. Who doesn't think bigotry is alive and well? My girlfriend was telling me that there's a thing, I'd never heard this, that people have the impression that black people can take pain better somehow, or don't feel pain as much, or have thicker skin, or less nerve endings. Or that's like a real urban myth. I'd never heard that one before. That's some bullshit right there. But again, it explains kind of a lot. It's the Atheist Brunch. I had chorizo and eggs and I finished it. I can't share it with you. I can't even show you a picture of it. I'm tired of having there's one. You owe me $1. Liz. So I ate the chorizo and eggs before it got warm and crusty. I'm tired of finishing these things, and then I got a warm, crusty breakfast. It's really sloppy. I don't want to eat in front of people. My teeth are cramped together like this. I get shit hanging on them. It's not attractive. So eating in front of people, not the greatest idea. But this is Atheist Brunch, and that's what we do. So we do it. So I hope you're enjoying it. Cocoa Pebbles. Who doesn't love Cocoa Pebbles from time to time? Shit'll kill you though, man. Fruity Pebbles too, man. The fruit coloring alone will kill you in a couple of weeks. But I do. I got a soft spot for the Pebbles. I do. Aviation guy 36. Hello, fellow atheist. What's your Cash app? You want to send me cash? I have a PayPal. It's I don't use the other pay. I don't know. The other Cash apps make me itchy. I mean, you can Apple Pay me. I guess. But yeah, I got a PayPal. It's at lrobinero@gmail.com. And we are on Patreon. You can subscribe to us on Patreon if you're interested in helping out that way. That will go a long way towards keeping the lights on around here and keeping us in cat food. Thanks for asking. Once we Guido Fail, what's up, Guido? Love you for being here. Sunday's your cheat day, so I allow myself something generally unhealthy. You eat really good all week. Besides that, you don't cheat besides Sunday morning. That's cool though. You gotta mix in a little bit of bad with the good. Cinnamon rolls in the oven. It sounds like a metaphor for pregnant. So you're pregnant, bud? Tu mochado. Tu mochados dice que I got cinnamon rolls in the oven. Terrence Weeza, 952, purple-haired somebody, Sissy somebody, Marcus Palmetto, Zoe Jackson. Thanks for the likes. Love you guys. Long time. Thanks for being here. I noticed Andrew Seidel has a TikTok. You guys follow Andrew Seidel, the great lawyer from FFRF. I love Andrew. He's got a little edge to him where, not an edge, he's a great guy and he's always there for you, but he's got a little big man syndrome, right? He's popular. People know who he is. He's written books. He's more well known obviously than a dude like me in atheism. And so he's kind of got that kind of like, he's a little bit too good for you. But I noticed that he started a TikTok. Coincidence? Like literally a couple of weeks after I had Dan Barker on and offered to start an FFRF official TikTok for them, or get them at least put on the charity list when we go to these lives. You can choose to like let your money go to a charity that you get, So I give my 86 cents to FFRF if they were available. So you can only choose from a list. So I tried to get them to do that, and Dan's like, he got back to me. He's like, thanks for the idea. I'll pass it on to the girl that's in charge of social media. And like all of a sudden on December 12th, literally like a week or two after we went live together, Seidel all of a sudden pops up with his own TikTok, which is great for him. I'm not trying to be Mr. Jealous, but go follow Andrew Seidel, SEIDEL. If you haven't, he's already up to like 40,000 viewers. He's fucking great. The shit that he does, the lawsuits that he files, the work that he does on behalf of America, of all Americans, in regards to separation of church and state issues is phenomenal. In his book, Founding Myth, absolute must read for people fighting Christian nationalism in America. So do follow Andrew Seidel. I wanted to mention that. He is on TikTok now. Looking a little scary. He's a handsome guy, got a real boyish face, a lot of hair. But I don't know what he's doing. He's filming himself different, I think, on TikTok. He looks half crazy, what I've seen of him. But that's neither here nor there. He's great, and you can learn a lot about what's going on with Congress and with these laws. There's other shit going on. I'll tell you today, the fucking Supreme Court is about to allow prayer probably at football games at high school, where these people are always trying to, football players in Texas, you're like, I gotta get down to prayer here before a football gets kicked off. We gotta pray to Jesus that he likes us more than the other football teams. Let's just smash their heads in. They got to do that, in places like Texas. And now, people bring them to court because there's like, yeah, we got a Muslim kid on the team who doesn't like your Christian prayer. We got an atheist on the team who doesn't like your Christian prayer. Why is the government school, a public school, agents of the government promoting Christianity? And it looks like the Supreme Court poised to let them go ahead and make the kids pray to a Christian God if you want to play football. And imagine fucking America. Imagine what we could achieve in America with the rest of the world and the technology and the advancement that the fucking modern civilized world is making if we didn't have fucking people who are caring about football and mythology, football and superstition, football and fake ass bullshit, sports for kids, bust your fucking brain in, value it more than learning, and praise Jesus and buy guns. What the fuck, man? What the fuck have we actually fucking come to in this country? It makes me sick to my fucking stomach. So if you're sick of that shit, follow Andrew Seidel, see what you can do to help. And please give your $40 up to FFRF and become a member. The organization is powerful. It's got a great fucking scandal-free history. It's got a strong endowment. It's not in any kind of danger, but we need more solidarity. We need more help. So give your $40 up. Go to ffrf.org. Give your $40 up. Don't be a cheap fuck. Don't be an atheist who's going to be on TikTok going, yeah, I'm doing my part, listening to this fucking old ass white dude spew fucking ridicule upon religion every Sunday. Let's all do something real. I did it. You can join. If you have a family, you can join your whole family up for $50. It's a deal. And then you got, 3 or 4 or 5 or how many people you got in your house are all members, it's great. So yeah, we need more of that. So do it. But I was talking about why do I care what people believe? Do you guys struggle with that? It's a real dichotomy. Like I do care what people believe. I have to admit that part of my content is like, kind of like, gives the impression that I'm trying to get people to change, and I am, but I want them to come to the change organically through a societal sea change where education becomes such a prime mover in society that people don't go to religion anymore naturally, and it just dies away. And the opposite's been going on. I've been watching it now for 50 fucking years in this country. The opposite is going on. People are becoming more accepting of a religious answer, and they don't care. And now we've been able to miseducate generations of people who think this was founded as a Christian country based on the Ten Commandments and it's Christian, 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 Christian. No, we're going backwards, man. It's fucking embarrassing. I do have a YouTube channel. Thanks. It's on the bio. Just join, pull it down and join it. There's right now it's mostly just me doing these lives, and when I can, I post something from the TikTok because the TikTok takes so much of my time, but I do plan on getting more stuff. And right now, you might have to scroll back through the YouTube channel to see some of the interesting stuff that's not on this TikTok, like my invocation at the city council meeting here in Kenosha, like the 10 days of 12 days of Christmas parody, which we did, which has got some thousands of views. At least that one was good, but there is stuff on there, and there will be more, I promise. That's just on the YouTube. We're really trying to ramp up our efforts here coming up. What's up, queer as fuck? I know I missed a lot of comments. You guys, you got questions, put them in the question box down below. Morning from Oregon. What's up in Oregon today? Nutman. He's a nutman. 50 cal. I mean, 50 calories of nuts, man. Or 50 caliber nuts. The only reason we have the rights we do in America, they were given by God. That's a really, really childlike assessment. Thank you for your input there. That's ludicrous. Human rights are a post-enlightenment human construct. It's like the last thing that God gave us. God gave us all the other rules and bullshit, right? But human rights, no, that's human advancement made by humans who started developing more empathy for other humans. Taking a break from doing my homework for my religion class. What happened to the human rights for all those people, like for the thousands of years where the mighty just enslaved the weak? What about their fucking rights that God endowed them, right? God didn't give a fuck about them, right? What's up, Heather Mack? So you're still in school? You didn't tell me. Did you stay in school? What's going on? Homework for religion classes. This is homework for religion class. No, I'm not an engineer. It's just a character that I play for this TikTok because we are a virtual railway. The Atheist Underground, conceived as a virtual railway. What's up, Aquarius Flock? You are. I hope you're doing good. We're doing good. I know I gave you a 2 up, but I'm just seeing your note here. Growth. What's growth mean? Snappy squid. Snappy squid. Who doesn't like a nice snappy squid salad, my friend? You like a little calamari? So many fully vaccinated people with the booster get COVID anyway. What's up, Stephen HL32? There is no soul, and if you're not Dutch, you're not much. My friend, if you ain't Dutch, you ain't much. Yeah, so many more unvaccinated people have COVID really ugly. So you can take your fucking chances either way you want. I don't have any fucking patience for anti-vaxxers. You're an idiot. I fucking got my vaccines. I'm surrounded by people who are dropping like flies, who aren't vaccinated, who have got COVID. And I take my other precautions and I try to be smart, but I have not got a whiff of COVID. The numbers are in. You have to be a moron to think that the risk of the taking the vaccine is greater than the risk of getting COVID and having it turn into something ugly and not just like a flu for a week, or something where it affects your lungs forever. A buddy of mine is already not sure what's going to happen with his fucking lungs. He got over COVID in a couple of weeks, but that was a year and a half ago and he still can't breathe right. Happy Atheist Sunday, Gooby Lube. Gooby Lube. Ooh, what's a Gooby Lube? It's kind of gross, but I like gross. I'm vaccinated just to make anti-vaxxers mad. Yeah, that's awesome, man. They're like, yeah, fuck you. I got vaccinated. No, I'm magnetic. I conduct on Amtrak. You're an engineer. Thank you, creature official. That's awesome. What can you do about Amtrak for us? Can you fix it? I'm just shitting. Yeah, I don't use Amtrak, so I don't really know if it's terrible still. But Amtrak used to be like a whipping boy, right? In American society, it was so terrible. Never on time. And if it's, they got to rent the track space. They're not their tracks. That's a real issue, But again, the lobby, we're not going to be able to build high-speed trains in America that are just their infrastructure and their, it's just, too powerful of a lobby against that kind of advancement. So we'll probably never get there before some other country takes us over just because we're a country of fucking pathetic morons who are waving Confederate flags, shooting guns into the air, and putting up a picture of a fucking orange comb over fuck. What's up, brother? Strange World 420. What's up, man? You smoking today? Whether or not you get the shot, the vax rate is going to go up. The vax rate's going to go up whether or not you get the shot. Like the percentage, because people who don't get the shot are dying off. I don't get what that means, I guess. Post evangelical here. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Joshua, for the comments. We appreciate that. I know it's tough, man. For evangelicals coming out, the whole deconstruction thing that people talk about now, and religious trauma, and it wasn't even a thing when I was coming out. But again, I came out of easy religion. I didn't come out of hardcore hellfire and brimstone bullshit. And I just, I don't, I think I'm enough of a native skeptic to be like, what, really? But I've come to know, and that's why I'm in this. I've come to know that it really damages people who are steeped in that kind of really hardcore, guilt-ridden fear, wagging a finger and shaking a Bible in your face, old-timey fucking evangelism. I mean, those people they need to get one big tent and go back out to the Dust Bowl in the desert and put up their fucking tent and have their evangelism there, man. You can send out emails. Anybody who wants to go and get COVID can go to the fucking big tent in the desert in New Mexico or Arizona. Thanks, man. The train whistle's awesome. Thank you, Cuz 29091. Here's one for you. Cuz 2021. Yeah, the whistle's fun. It turned out to be a neat gimmick that we got here, and stumbled backwards into some decent marketing for a change. I'm not a great marketer. You can't come out to your friends in the family in the Bible Belt. Yeah, I know, and it's tough. And then you're living around people whose intelligence you don't respect at all. Evangelicals need to mind their business. But see, that's against their fucking thing. Their whole thing is, Acts 15, whatever the fuck it is, go out and preach to all the nations and convert all the people, blah, 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 who don't know. Yeah, obviously. When you get eaten by lions, you need to encourage people to make new people in your religion, or the religion's not going to die. I don't want people taking that out of context. Like today, Christianity's in danger of being fucking, wiped out by prejudice and jealousy and war and whatever. Persecution, lions being thrown to the lions. Oh no, preaching on the train. Chavi 1776 had to do it. Jesus loves farts, smelly farts, especially his own. You are my favorite because you are not fully of hate. I don't hate anybody, man. I love everybody. Until you give me a reason not to. But I don't have to not hate people because I'm not Christian, right? That's the great thing about not being Christian. I can go ahead and beat someone to death for if I catch them, doing something that deserves that, like violating your daughter or something. I don't want to say anything here on TikTok, it gets me kicked off. But you know what I mean. I guilt free can fantasize about righteous, vicious physical revenge on somebody. Not that I would ever do it, but I don't have to feel guilty about that. God's not reading my mind going, "You're going to hell because you thought about murdering a rapist." No, it's all good with me because I'm not a Christian. I don't have to pretend to turn the other cheek. Religion is wiping itself out. I agree with that. Just another X with just another Exmo. What's up, man? I had to look at that for a while. Yeah, it'll take a while, centuries probably, but it is. Religion is wiping itself out. It's becoming irrelevant. It's doing the last thing that it needs to do to stay alive, and that is to dig its heels in on its anachronistic dogma and its moral irrelevance. Loving each other goes way beyond shoving the Bible down their throat. That's not what Jesus did. Jesus didn't do anything, Dan, for freedom. But thanks for putting it out there, bud. Great stories. They're great stories about Jesus. Some people put their thought into them and they try to make it right, but we don't have any reason to think that Jesus really did or said those things. He might have. I'm not 100% mythicist guy. Hello from Montana, Terrapod. Why is that always the answer to criticism? You're full of hate. Nah, yeah. I seem so. You're so hateful and bitter. Why are you bitter? People assume, right, that I got molested by a priest or I have religious trauma, and nothing could be further from the truth. I had an idyllic church upbringing. Idyllic. It was beautiful, and if there was a God, I would thank him for it every day. But he didn't do it for me. It was the people in my small town. It was the again post-Enlightenment mainline Protestant sects that didn't deny science, that didn't preach biblical literalism in any sense at all that I grew up in. And it was just another social event on Sunday. It was great to go, and we had cool stuff all year round. I loved helping with the potlucks, loved doing the events where I got to cook or help serve or whatever. We would always go to the church, the fairs, the county fairs in New England, which were just like a postcard. I mean, if you think of a bucolic bliss, and an ox pulling contest and tractor pull and shit like that in New England. And the old congregational church had a blueberry pancake booth, man. And I would make blueberry pancakes happily every Labor Day weekend and just loved it. Just loved cooking and making it and working for the church and seeing my buds. It was not that way for me. So it's silly to fucking assumptions they make. Somebody hurt you so bad and make you turn away from church. No, I just like looked at the facts, man. That's all. This guy will bring up abiogenesis that also has faults, not holding weight. Um, yeah, but it doesn't. See, that's the thing. If you talk to scientists and not preachers, if you talk to preachers, you're going to hear all kinds of bullshit. But why do people take the word of a preacher? I literally interviewed a paleontologist who explained that they're not even really studying that anymore. We know how life evolved on rocky planets from simple chemicals. It's not a big issue anymore. The bigger issue is what's going on in quantum theory and trying to figure out the secrets of the universe and the Big Bang. Life on the rocky planets is done, Jack. It's done. When they get to Mars, they're going to find more evidence that fucking backs up what they already pretty much know happened on Earth. It's not anything to be like, oh, it's had to happen, man. Spontaneous generation has been proved. No, it's different. Abiogenesis, yeah, all the theories have holes. It's like looking for that missing link forever. Well, okay, then what was in between Australopithecus and Java Man, whatever the fuck it is? There's like always another one. It's like, so the people who are anti-evolution are always going to throw that in there. Well, they don't know what happened in 1,750,000 BC. They don't know what happened that year, so could have been God. Idiots. Disproving Big Bang doesn't prove a God anyways. There's no disproving the Big Bang at this point. That's not um, like it's the law in physics. It's so well supported by the evidence at this point. It would take something really, a discovery really, really drastic to change what we know. But the Big Bang is just it's the way it was. It's there's no scientists anywhere worth their salt who really argue with it. Just apologists parading as scientists. Where did the first galaxy come from? I wish I knew, man. Look at the Miller experiments, false. This guy, witness of Christ. Why do you get off it, dude? Of course it is false. They're trying to figure out stuff that you seriously could never get your brain around. But no, it can't be right. My Bible says different. Jesus died for us on the cross. Doesn't matter. He was copied off of other dying and rising sun messiahs throughout history, and he's just the latest one who survived literally to be handed down to us through war. And it's right. What's up, Kyler? Gooby Lou was raised Jewish. Good for you, man. Come, it's a mixed bag, right? Hey, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Was raised Jewish, so I don't have to be weighed down by Christian philosophy. But then again, I was raised Jewish. I've been picked on my whole life. Oi, I should be so lucky. Christ is just a shadow pattern. None of you in the public are aware of it. All right, Crow of the Sun, most bizarre message of the day. Whatever that is, Christ is just a shadow pattern. None of you in the public are aware of it. Where did the universe come from? I don't know. Thoughts on an eternal universe with endless big bangs happening all the time. That seems to make sense to me given a little bit that I know about it. Thank you, Woken Up, for that. And I think that's kind of where they're getting, even with string theory, in the multiverse, how all that stuff goes together. Got a little drip going on there. Excuse me, folks. Yeah, witness of Christ. Yeah, put them out there for us all, buddy. We can all wait for science to change because of the huge discoveries against the Big Bang. Nothing in general. I just ran. We discussed a lot of things. We got a witness of Christ is on here trying to apply his new evidence against the Big Bang. Yeah, it's we can all look that up on Twitter today and see if it's trending. There's always this thing, but there's always articles. There's always Christian-based articles that are funded by Christian, federations and councils and fake, American Family. He's trying to excuse teachers in school preaching basically to kids. And they show people how to get around this. Well, these people are always putting out a video. It's here's this how this is debunked, and here's the evidence for Noah's Ark being real, and here's why We know that like evolution can't be real because it's not repeatable. That's like one of the laws of scientific experimentation. It's like all this bullshit, just put together by somebody who doesn't know. You get when a scientist comes to me, when I get on the YouTube and I see Sean Carroll say, you know what, we were really wrong about the Big Bang. I'm the first to get on board, but no, you're probably, and I don't know, put it up here. If you got a link, put it up here. Well, evidence against the Big Bang. Thanks, man. No nods. What's up? El Papa, thanks for the follow, man. I do that from time to time, right? To blow my eardrums out. El Papa. Oh, it's El Papa. I'm not a train driver, man. I'm just a goof here driving a virtual train, the Atheist Underground, like the London Underground. See, sneaking through the tunnels of a secular area that doesn't exist because we're in America, and every place is steeped in boneheaded religion. Boneheaded religion. That's right. I said it. And I continue to say it. I don't give a shit. We're here to normalize secularism and normalize the ridiculing of the ridiculous. The ridiculous exists to be ridiculed, and if we can't ridicule the ridiculous and laugh at ourselves, then what have we got? So yeah, we're here to absolutely make sure that people know it's okay to make fun of people's faith. It's not okay to make fun of people for having the faith. It's okay to make fun of the ridiculous things that people believe in a general way. We have to question the ludicrous instead of letting it drive our policy in the United States. We need to question what is unsupportable by the evidence, and we need to support people's rights to worship in their home. But boy, the way religion is expressing itself in American society these days is a fucking embarrassment on a world scale. Exactly, Firecracker. You see what this guy's getting at? Thank you, and good to see you. Firecracker. The Big Bang has not been disproven. This guy claims that there's a site that shows that there's evidence that this proves the Big Bang. But I'm wondering how it explains how the evidence and the collected data of the background radiation fits the model, the mathematical model, more perfectly than any evidence has ever been collected in any theory ever. There's a reason that it's held sway for this long. And of course, there's going to be stuff that changes the details. But yeah, it's not going to be like, oh, we're totally wrong about that. Totally wrong. It's like, whoa, what were we thinking? It was this new evidence. No, it's going to adjust. But yeah, it'll be like, wow, we were wrong. There is a big guy out there. We just couldn't see him. He snapped his fingers, and this whole beautiful, magical, mathematical marvel went together. Atheism is a trend, maybe. I don't know what atheism is, though. We're atheists here. It's, but spelling is a talent. God is simply an idea. Thank you, and it's a simple idea too. It's not even a very complex one. Thank you, Bloody Bath 00. Yeah, religion is a trend. That's really true, isn't it? A religion is a trend evolutionarily that's reaching the end of its reaching its the down part of the roller coaster there. It has reached its zenith, my friend, and it has begun its descent on a world scale. I think atheism is a trend for a lot of people. I mean, I think it is trendy for like young people maybe to rebel against their parents' religion and dabble in atheism for a while, and then they just sort of forget about it later. But the thing is that they don't go back to being religious after they become loudmouth atheists for a while. They're over it. You know what I mean? Your indoctrination has failed with that particular child, and whether they remain loudmouth, obnoxious atheists like yours truly for the rest of their lives, or they just go on and don't give it any further thought. They don't go back to believing in God generally. I don't chew my carrots twice. You know what I mean? It's like once you break up with a girlfriend, is there a lot of you out there that would take back an ex right now? No, yeah, that's how I feel about God. People are like, when and somebody else, I think it was on Reddit today, so he's like, what's sillier than when Christians try to get ex-Christians to come back to Christianity? It's like, well, we've been there, dude. What are you trying to sell? We understand the product, man. We've been there. We've sampled it. It's not worth it. I'm not paying for it. Thanks for the likes. I'm queer as fuck. Off subject, I just found out spray paint can freeze if you leave it outside. So you try to blow shit up today, Matt? Come on, man. He's like, how long you lived in Buffalo and you're leaving shit out in January, dude? He's on the couch playing fucking PS5 and smoking weed, man, instead of putting his hoses away for the winter. I really wouldn't want to see you mad. You throw some shit me shade. That's why I don't debate these fuckwits, you know what I don't mean to throw shade, but when people come out with stupid shit, I call it out. You know what I mean? I don't have any we don't have no truck with with lies and fantasy around here, my friend. We call a spade, and then we take a spade, we bury it in the fucking backyard where it deserves to be. Uh, but yeah, that's a real reason. People are like, "Well, it's a debate a Christian." I'm like, "As I don't want to end up getting banned because I call him what he is." You know, they like, goad me with their stupid shit. God is a human construct that humans use to attribute meaning to things we don't understand. Yeah, of course, and to give us hope for a better life instead of this short, brutish, ugly one that that people were given when religion was invented. Like a lot of people don't have a short, shitty, brutish life anymore. But still, it's too short for most people, right? And full of pain that we wish we didn't have to suffer. Right? No matter how good your life is, you got shit pain. So people imagined a place where that doesn't happen. Um, it's not rocket surgery, my friend, to figure that out. Come on, refresh. Oh, yeah, see, it tells me that there's 19 new messages, but then when I go flick it down, there's not, I love that. What the hell's up with that? There it goes. Texas atheist in the house. Cam Jam Hammond. Pretty good one. Can you look up IP fusion evidence against the Big Bang? That's really a word, IP fusion evidence? Can't unsee what? What did I say? What can't you unsee? Just because you idolize a person doesn't mean you agree with everything they've ever said. That's true. Bloody hypocrisies. Bloody hypocrisies. Like that name too. We have all the evidence about the true origin of Christ, and I was doing the lost craft yesterday. What does that mean? I'd rather take back my ex than take back my religion. All right, good one, Dr. Time Waster. Thank you for answering that. That's good. I'm sure that some people have exes that they wish had not gotten away. 32 years you've been in Buffalo. Just started spray painting this year. Didn't think maybe the -15 temperatures along the frigid shores of Lake Ontario. Still right? There's still Lake Ontario where Buffalo is, right at the other end. I get confused. But yeah, right. Yeah, no, come on, man. You gotta put your paint inside, dude. It's gonna be useless when you go to use that shit if it doesn't fucking bust completely. If God isn't real, what's stopping anyone from committing crimes, bro? Is that really a question, James Coca? What the fuck? If God stopped people from committing crimes, then why do we have prisons in a law system? Prisons full of people who have Jesus tattoos on their arms. Why didn't Jesus or God stop them from doing a crime? No. Stupidest comment of the day. Thank you. Crazy stuff. Watched the Eternals last night. You guys watch the Eternals yet? Man, maybe a spoiler coming up. I might say something if somebody wants to talk about the Eternals. I mean, I can see why it got shitty reviews. It didn't move along, but I thought it was all right. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I get it. It fits in a little bit. I was weirded out about the plot a little bit. I'm like, these things that they're talking about happening are happening on such a biblical scale, really, and I kept looking for a more heavy-handed biblical metaphor with these creatures involved in this without trying to say too much about the movie, but it really wasn't there. But it makes you wonder, like, come on, how do you get your head around them not getting involved in the whole Thanos and the arc of the early phases of Marvel, the what do they call it, the Infinity Arc, right? Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know. It's just like, ooh, really, But then again, you're like, okay, I remember. You remember that, like, what's his face is Star Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, where Chris Pratt's dad was a a celestial, right? That's how he describes himself. And they don't really go to that. They let you put that together, but it took me a minute afterwards. I'm like, wait a minute, So yeah, it was cool to see it. You got to see them all, right? You got to. And who doesn't love Rob Stark? Sexy, sexy man. Richard Madden. And ooh, that the Asian chick that's the lead, and I'm not gonna remember her name. It's the first time I've ever seen her. Gorgeous, gorgeous, man. So yeah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was what it was. I am actually. IP Fusion brings up nothing. Focus Fusion, AFISIF, Mac Planck Institute is concerned with. I'm like, no, IP Fusion. All right, I gave it a shot, buddy. Yeah, I got a feeling you got nothing, and I'm all about new evidence. If there is actually new evidence, man, I hope you're right. But yeah, they disproved the Big Bang. How does that prove God anyway? Witness of Christ. I mean, it's the whole God thing. It's like you got to entertain a creator argument if you're an atheist. That's why we're agnostic atheists. We don't know. There's not a deist style creator. We know that there's not a God that interacts. And there's not a personal God. That's clear, right? There's not a personal God. So the idea that one of these religions is right with its doctrine and its dogma and its assertions based on ancient scriptures is ludicrous. It's just that's not even worth arguing. It's silly. Yeah, is there a creator? But why is that a God? Why isn't that just an alien that we have to respect its power because it can create on a scale that we can't imagine? But why do we have to worship it? It clearly is not doing anything for anybody here. Guido Fall, did you find it? Guido Fail? Sorry, Guido Fall. You can't see it through my bifocal here. It has loads of wrong science. See, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, I got a website. It shows, yeah, there's a website for every asshole, buddy. You can get a website where you can watch, any kind of fucking anything you want to watch. So why does it surprise you that there's videos that back up your ludicrous fucking twisting of science to try to make what we observe fit your preconceived conclusion? That's what kills me always. It's like, why nobody will just admit that they want there to be a God, and so they're trying to fit the evidence to fit their idea of what God is. It's like the opposite of deductive reasoning. It's just stupidity. Thoughts on the Bible: man-made fairy tale manipulated by man. Yeah, the Bible's not even a book; it's a compilation of books. There's nothing congruous about the whole thing. Christians co-opted the Jewish Bible, which is interpreted in a completely different way than Christians interpret it, just to fill out the arc of being saved from original sin. Right? Jesus came and died for all of us. So you have no excuse if you actually are living without sin. If you're one of these people that's Gandhi-like in his goodness, you still don't have an excuse. Like, this is the way that religion's like, no, 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 no. You may think you're sin free, but we know, God knows you thought about sleeping with that woman when you saw her walk by, even though it's not your wife. Sinner. Or it doesn't matter because you've inherited the sin from your fathers, from Adam, from time immemorial, from someone who in fact never existed. So, the Christian myth arc it falls apart as soon as you start looking at it. It doesn't hold any weight at all because we know Genesis didn't happen. That's why guys like this are like, oh, the Big Bang, because they know that instinctively. They're like, if Genesis wasn't real, which we know it wasn't now, based on really easy geology, for one thing, not to mention the impossibility of two people populating a planet. We know it's not true. So that the whole myth falls apart. And so that the people that are looking to discredit the Big Bang, they're trying to find a reason to think that maybe Genesis is real, and we just have the years wrong because God counted years by the thousands. It's such stupid shit like that, right? But yeah, no, it's just it doesn't hold any weight. The Bible it was just put together later by people who are trying to cobble together a religion. It doesn't mean, none of it means anything. It's old. The Old Testament is the written record of a nomadic Hebrew tribe wandering in the desert 3,500 years ago, whenever the fuck it was. they did the best they could. They wrote down their laws. They wrote down ways to guide society the way that they thought they needed to do to keep society healthy and together, and it worked at a certain level. We still have Jews, so they did something right. Right? They didn't let too many people die of trichinosis because they outlawed pork and shellfish and whatever else made people sick. But all the rest of that shit is just they did the best they could at the time to explain the world with it. So the Bible doesn't mean anything to anybody. The Christians who come out here and quote, well, the Bible says that you were going to be skeptical, so it predicted your existence. Yeah, because it knows. The writers of the Bible knows that there are going to be people that weren't going to believe this shit, so they wrote it in there. Don't worry about the people who say this isn't true. They're just fucking doing the devil's work. Just be happy with what we're telling you. Boom. Okay, witness of Christ. If I remember right really well, but when I brought up infusion, it doesn't even bring up anything. I don't know if you spelled it wrong. Whatever. Like literally, there's nothing about the Big Bang in the first page of looking up infusion. Oh, LLP. Oh. That didn't bring up anything either. It defaults to LPP. Yeah, I don't know, buddy. I don't. I'll try to look for it if I remember. But that's great, dude. LPP fusion is it's talking about a new energy source and a corporate. So imagine that. Imagine that there's a corporate interest behind a study that says something they wanted to say. Imagine that happening in America. What's up, man? You taking your kids out? The sin-free atheist, man. Take it easy, buddy. Follow my guy, sin-free atheist at question everything. I think el gran mexicano de, de Sonora. Ask a person before randomly praying for them. Yeah, I think that's instead of telling them, you can always pray for someone without telling them, right? But yeah, I think it would be better to ask. Can I pray for you? I think that would just be more respectful, right? On a level. I mean, it's an absurd question. Like, I wouldn't. Why would you say no? I mean, I don't give a fuck. You want to pray for me? That's your time, buddy. That you're not going to get back. Yes, of course. Bloody hypocrisies. If God does exist and knows all that will ever be, that means we don't have free will. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Waka flocka lego. Waka flocka lego. I got it first time, right? That's a good one too. All I ask is that people learn how to spell atheism, please. It's really disrespectful. Don't go around spelling it Christianity. Get your fucking vowels in a right order. Cheese and rice. Michael Watts, 40575. What's your guys' favorite euphemism for Jesus Christ? Cheese and rice? Cheese. I like cheese on everything. You were thinking about sleeping, Michael Watts? Go ahead, bud. I'm rolling back through the comments here. Squeeze, what's up, man? You really don't think you sin very much? I think you don't sin very much either, because sin is not real. There is no, there is no sin. Gandhi was racist, says my guy, sin-free atheist. Who did he hate? Did he hate Whitey? I wonder why. Jesus bless this guy, remove scales from his eyes, anoint his head, and forgive him in Jesus' name. Flying zero, no preaching on the train. That's some stupid shit, man. Did anyone block this dude? Bye. Flying zero. Yeah, we can't let that go. All caps in 3 sentences. Anoint my head. Remove scales from my eyes. Remove the scales from your ass, you dirty fuck. Yeah, sorry, I got rid of that dude. Sorry if you were interacting with him. I got rid of him because there's no preaching on the train, my friends. It's a conspiracy website asking for donations for cold fusion reactors. There you go. Now that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Guido Fail. Yeah, not surprised by that, and I will try to look at it. But when you put that in, and all it brings up is a corporation. Yeah, they're looking for donations for cold fusion, which is all right. I'm all for that. But why are they trying to like hit up religious people for that money? What's about that? What's that about? If God were real, would you consider him the biggest aborter of all time? The biggest aborter? Yeah, the biggest murderer, the biggest scumbag, the most unsavory character in all of fiction. Yeah, that's what God is. Yeah, thanks, the God of the Bible, anyway. Yeah, I got the gels, man. Thanks, man. Thanks, Emily. Yeah, it's like holy crap. I got like a good eighth inch of new nail going underneath there. Can you see that? And there's not a scratch on these bitches. I'm like, for $10, if you're into this, I'm not sure I'd do it again because I don't go every week. I mean, if you do this every week or every 2 weeks, then it's your thing. But I'm not sure I need to get in that routine of getting to color it. But now you have to, like, if you don't want them to grow all the way out, you're gonna have to get these taken off, right? New ones put on. That shit's like serious. But I don't mind it because it does make the nails stronger. I'm always a guy who's like always working my hands, so I'm busting up my nails, and this is like I can let them get a little longer now because they're stronger. Thank you, Queerest Luck. Love you, man. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna get my toes done next time. I didn't do it this time because I was being cheap, and I was mad about it afterwards. Because there's nothing better when the little Asian chicks rubbing your feet like that for a few minutes. Oh man, that's worth the whole price. You don't even got to do my toes, but yeah, what feels better than a pedicure? Thank you, Gay America, for making pedicures and manicures cool for straight guys too. The corporate website is his source, by the way. That's the scientific site. Yeah. Green's my color. Thank you. Now it's 21. Green is my color. So if I default, I went with my little daughter. She's 12. She wanted a really fancy, pretty one with different colors and fancy, a whole bit. I'm like, well, I'm here. I'm gonna get a manicure anyway, and I would normally get just like a clear polish. But I'm like, what the fuck? It's Christmas time. It's a little festive, and green's my color. It's always been my favorite color since I was a little lad in the country. Yeah, everything green. I love summer. I love green. Love the forest, love plants. That's why I'm in horticulture. Yeah, and I'm a naturalist. Beep. Nail polish is for everyone. Someone was like, on a comment on my videos, they're like, why do you have nail polish on? Like this was 1975 or something, or so, it was like 50s or something. It was like, ew, you're gay, you have nail polish on. Some like creepy fucking old school dick. So yeah, I'm like, really? This is a comment I'm getting of all this shit that somebody could bring me up on for saying on my videos. Someone's gonna be like, "Why do you have nail polish on? Why the fuck not, man? Why don't you? Doesn't everybody? Idiots." God, as a football fan, he's constantly being thanks for the wins. Yeah, not to mention MMA. I'm always constantly amazed how MMA fighters like, oh, glory to God. I still got one ear that's not cauliflower ear, and God let me beat this other guy's face into the mat until I won. And thank God for that, because God go great. Stop fuck up. God doesn't give a shit about your sport. I don't get how some think God is just. You get 100 years for murder here, but eternity is death. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just scare tactics. It's just, something to make people afraid. Yeah, and it works. And people are like, oh my God. The people who are deconstructing now are like, I'm so afraid I'm going to be wrong and I'm going to burn in hell forever. You understand how ridiculous that is? How silly that idea is? Have you ever been to a manicure place that serves alcohol? No. No, I'm not a big drinker, honestly. But if I went to a place like that, I'd have a shot of whiskey or something that makes sense. But I don't know. I had a hard enough time staying still for them to do this. She had to fix one because I like moved my hand and touched something, and she's like, "No, you can't move." And she had to do it again and stuff. So if I got a little buzz on, it probably wouldn't be good for the process. I don't know. Thank you, good godless. You the best, baby. How can they say that's even remotely just or equitable? Oh, the punishment? Yeah, I don't know. You think romantic relationships between, say, an atheist and a Catholic can work? Yeah, man, if the boning's real good, it can overcome a lot if that sex is hot. I'm just fucking around. I don't know. It can work. I mean, it's about the people, you know. If you're not hardcore and you don't go there in your minds, I guess, and everything else is good in the relationship, and there is more to it than that if you can leave it alone. But I don't think so. If it's hardcore, you know, if either of you are real serious about it, you know, it can only work in people that are generally not religious anyway. I think sooner or later, it creates problems. And we had a guy who came to the groups who was like, you know, married, converted to Catholicism from evangelicalism for his Catholic wife. She was hardcore to begin with. He like left religion altogether when he just got smart and was like, "Oh, this is obviously bullshit," because he went from one religion to the other, and like that'll do it for a lot of people right away. So you know, and then he started having shitty problems because it made her like react the other way. His becoming an atheist made her double down on her Catholicism, and she became even more adamant about it and more conservative about it. And then, you know, I doubt they're gonna make it. And they got two little kids. It's sad, you know. But that's a tough one, man. That's Ginger Snorlax. Thank you for saying. I didn't see your name. The Ginger Snorlax is with us today on the Atheist Underground. What could make anyone happier? I think you gotta talk about this shit up front, don't you? I mean, God, religion, politics, kids. There's like 3 or 4 things that you gotta be like. Sex, you know. There's a whole fucking thing about like not having sex till you're married. Who's that stupid? Who's that fucking stupid, man? You want to try a pair of shoes on, don't you? Because I'll just buy those and I'll just work with it. You know, I'll learn to love those shoes, even though my fucking bunions are growing 2 inches a day because they're a size and a half too small for me. What the fuck, man? So dumb. So dumb. You gotta sample the fucking wares, man. You gotta sample it, and you gotta get a good cross section, shall we say, a little sampling of society's offerings before you go like marrying someone. My husband is still Catholic and I'm atheist. We've been together 24 years. Good for you. Good deal. Yeah, people can make it work, like I say, but you know, your husband's probably not hell bent on the idea that you're going to go to hell. You know, he's probably just like, you know, maybe she's right. She can think what she wants, right? But if someone's like hardcore, they're not going to be able to do that for you. Yeah, Chris Burrows, don't try without a test drive. Don't buy without like 10 or 20 test drives, man. Give me a break. How anybody can be religious after reading Socrates' life story. I actually never read Socrates' life story. Bob's Photoblog, hello from Germany. Wie geht's, mein Freund? Auf Deutschland gekommen. Don't put words in my mouth. That's mentioned like the religious is based off the reliability of prophets. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be. And somebody else was like, "Why do I know prophets were ever women? Where there no women prophets? What do you think?" It's just another clue for you. It's like, yeah, God couldn't be bothered making one of those prophets a woman. And when he did, you know, you could say, you know, Mary wrote a gospel, right? Supposedly, there was a gospel of Mary. They're like, yeah, we're not going to let this one out in the final version, man. Abridged. The Bible has been abridged by Whitey and Whitey Sausage Swinger. You know, thanks, Chris. I like them too. They worked out. Some don't even kiss or hold hands before marriage. Yeah, could you marry someone who was not a good kisser? I could even put up with the bad sex. At least it's sex, right? Like my old pappy used to say, there's only 2 kinds of sex, good and better. Right? So, you know, but a bad kisser, ooh, man. You ever had like someone who just didn't know how to kiss? And I don't know. These days, maybe I could be like, you know what? Let me show you a couple things, a couple pointers. But I've never been able to confront somebody about that. You know, being like, you know what? I don't know where you learned to kiss, but it seems like it was probably in 7th grade, you know, and you might want to try it this way. That's bad. Yeah, bad kisser off the list. Thanks for the likes, Queer as Fuck. My guy, Queer as Fuck. How can anyone be religious after reading Aristotle's life story? How can anyone be religious after reading a religious text? People can learn. They can learn. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it takes a little fucking beating in the head to get them to learn. But, yeah, they definitely can. No, this is an engineer's hat. So I got a conductor's hat. Here's the difference. I got a lot of hats. I should do a show one day where I just change hats and every hat becomes a character, right? But I got an engineer. This is a conductor's hat, right? And the conductor would have like a blue blazer on, right, and a blue collar shirt, right, and a thing where he takes the where he takes the coins, right? You love that thing, right? Probably not anymore, not so much anymore, right? The Conductor, I don't know, but yeah, this is the Conductor's hat. It doesn't fit as well, and it makes me sweat more. It doesn't look as good, you know. But I toyed with making it part of the bit for a while, but you know, it just became too much. But you know, we'll work it in maybe at some point. Maybe get AU put on here, you know. But yeah, that's your classic Conductor's hat. This like an old timey engineer's hat. This is like the Choo Choo Charlie hat, right? Where the guy's like, "Get off the tracks, you son of a bitch!" You know, like, woo! Gotta get the fucking the whistle going. There's a cow on the tracks. Be careful, there's some Indians up ahead. Native Americans, they say these days. Didn't know you needed one. How can anyone be religious after reading Galileo's life story? I love this. This is a good bit, Adam. I'll give you one up. Atom, not Adam. Brett Balls. You going through a rough time right now? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We know what that's like, and that's tough. Bloody hypocrisies. I'm glad. I'm glad. If I can make anybody laugh, it's all worth it for me. I'm just a fucking chucklehead who's out here talking shit. But you know, I've had it. I'm old and grumpy. I've had it with society. I've had it with this embarrassment that America's become. And I'm still waiting for the guy who's like, "This guy doesn't even know that America is not a country." You know? Yeah, sorry, the United States. I'm a United Statesian. So dumb when people do this. We all know, you know, the world calls us Americans because there's no other word for it because of the way the country is named. You know, what are you going to call us? USers? Did you play Dead Red Redemption? I did play the first one, I want to say. The first one, it come out on PlayStation 2, maybe? Right? With the pistoliers, the guy who's got a, you know, it's all about horseback and pistols. I think I did play the first Red Dead Redemption. Cool game. Cool game. It's funny you mention that one because I have not played it. I like gaming, you know, when I have time I game. Less and less these days. My eyes are getting worse. It's harder to keep up too with my thumbs. Got to get the surgery. But Dead Red Redemption is one that they definitely finished. Love from Jamaica, yeah man. What's up in Jamaica, come on, today? I bet you weather better than here. Jamaica probably 80 degrees, steady. Hard to play games nowadays. Yeah, it is for me. I feel your pain there. It really is. 1963 U.S. Supreme Court outlawed praying in public schools. Did you know that they outlawed leading prayer in schools? They outlawed the school or the teacher leading a prayer in school. Nobody is outlawed for praying personally in prayer in school. A common misconception that Christians use all the time. Hey, thank prayer ass go. Your little asshole can pray anytime he wants. Someone put his fucking head down in his fucking lunchbox before he opens up his shitty Lunchables that your Karen ass made him for lunch and fucking pray if he wants to pray. No one's stopping him. Imagine that. Kid puts his head down to pray and fucking pray, put cuffs on him and drag him out. Hey, prayer got taken out of schools. And no, it's about the government leading prayer. The people don't understand the teacher is a representative of the federal government. The school district is a public service paid for by public taxes, and it is a representative of the U.S. government teaching your kids. And when they promote Christianity, that is a figure of authority. Think of it, I mean, when you're a little kid, there you're taught that your teacher is to be respected. You look up to that person. That person starts preaching Christianity, and you can't help it as a little kid. You're going to give it a certain amount of kids, not everyone obviously, you're going to give that a certain amount of weight, and it's unconstitutional. It's not the fucking teacher's job to teach you religion, period. So you know the thing is, and I know you weren't gunning on me to rant at you, Adam. You made some good points today, but yeah, they outlawed leading prayer in schools. They didn't outlaw praying in school. As long as there's tests, there will be prayer in school. Thanks, Daddy. Jamaica. People ask me like, "Can you do Jamaican accent, man?" Yeah, you know, if I'm with someone, I can really mimic it. Is what it is, you know. But I've been to Jamaica. I spent some time in Jamaica. Love Jamaica. Loved it. I remember about Jamaica the most is driving down a country road and literally some dude just like leaping out of the woods with a giant fucking stick of fucking weed that he pulled out of his field or whatever. He's like just jumping in front of the truck, buy my weed, man. Love it. Love Jamaica. My favorite magazine is Hustlers. Yes. Yes, you can be religious, but keep it privately to yourself. Christians don't understand this. Yeah, it's in the Bible. Jesus told you, right? Jesus said, pray. It's the pious that pray in public because they want to be seen praying. Keep your prayer in the closet where it belongs. Keep it in your home. Pray in private. Don't be like the fucking pious people who just want to be seen. Yeah, that's bloody hypocrisies. Thanks for being with us today, man. This guy's got some brains on him, or girl. I don't know which you are, but yeah, I agree. Religion has no business in schools. They've already set up to indoctrinate enough. Yes, schools are set up to indoctrinate. What do you think the pledge is about? Whether it has under God in it or not, the pledge is unconstitutional and should be stricken from school. Yeah, there's a reason Jesus isn't taught in schools. No facts. There's a reason the Supreme Court, knocked down intelligent design and called it religious fantasy, and stopped it from being taught as fact alongside evolution in schools. There's a reason for that. Religion is religion. It doesn't belong in public schools. Choo choo! The Jeebus fish. What's up, Jeebus fish? I saw you on the back of someone's car the other day. Luckily, I never looked up to any teacher. No problems with authority, just never had a good teacher. I by the time I was in first grade, I knew I was smarter than all my teachers. Wow, I grew up in Arkansas, and that's why. And I got lucky with my genes. By the time I was in second grade, I could realize that my teachers were as stupid as a box of rocks, and I didn't have to look up to any of them at all. Man, that's awesome for you. I really respect kids who are that smart at a young age. But I got lucky. Like I said, I was in Connecticut. I had teachers, and I had some shitty teachers. Don't get me wrong, but I had a great education, especially. When looked at in terms of what kids get taught today, man, kids don't fucking know shit today. I don't know what they get taught. Honest to God, it's a miracle that anybody learns any fucking thing in school in America. Best verses in the whole Bible. The one about the donkey dick in Isaiah or wherever it is. That's a great one. Tell them, brother. Oh, yeah. A few more minutes, I'm going to blast off. What else? Oh, you know what? Somebody brought up, and here's a good one. I thought of a clever answer. I thought, maybe it's not clever. People asked me, what would my superpower be? If I could choose any superpower, what would the superpower be? And it dawned on me, probably while I was smoking a blunt, that my superpower, if I could choose any superpower, would be I would call it the walk a mile superpower, based on the old Indian proverb, the old Native American proverb of, never judge someone until you walk a mile in their moccasins, right? My superpower would be to be able to be in someone's psyche for a week or so, or whatever it is, instantly empathize with someone else's point of view, right? To be like the empathy superpower. So you can understand what everybody that you encounter is bringing to the situation, right? Isn't that a good one? I thought that was a clever one to think of that you don't think of very often. The one where God says 2 bears to maul 42 youths. That's good. I feel like 42 youths might have been able to gang up on a bear. They really needed to. How many guys can a bear take on at once? I feel like 3, 4, 6, 8 of those kids might have gotten fucked up, but the rest got to step up. Once he's trying to eat someone, the other 41 got to fucking jump on that bitch's back and choke him out, man. Something. It's like 42. It's like, oh no, man. I just don't want to be the slowest one. Run, motherfuckers, run. 2 she bears, yeah, I don't know. With cubs, I don't know. Because the bears just like, boom, 1, boom, 2, boom. The kids like, fucked up in 1 shot. But I figured no. I think bears, like a group of 42 people jumping up and down and screaming, would scare most bears away. But yeah, God's like, fuck these kids, man. I'm gonna send a bear out the woods and fuck these little bitches up. Project Bluebeam. What's Project Bluebeam? One nation inside God, one nation in spite of God. It's okay to respect authority, but for an authority to demand unwavering and unquestioning loyalty is bullshit. Yeah, it's for authority to demand any kind of rote behavior, any kind of repeated ritual is anathema to civil rights and human rights. It's really, really damaging psychologically. A moment of silent meditation should be enough. Enough what? In school? Why do you need that? It's not the school's business to tend to people's spiritual needs. Never judge a man until you walk a mile in his shoes. Then you have your shoes and you're a mile away. It's true. Get some shoes. Thank you, Bloody Hypocrisies. Thank you for the acknowledgement there. I put some real stoner time into that. For calling a prophet baldy. Oh yeah, baldy. If I got kicked, if I got a dime for every time I got called baldy, I'd have a couple of bucks. But some kids in a car called me baldy. I was laughing. They were cute. They were cute. They were they were fighting with each other in the car, and their mom was in the bodega getting some fucking whatever. And I walked past the car and I see them fighting, and so it made me look twice. I'm like, where? There's little kids, and it was getting loud. I didn't like a natural thing. I looked inside the car to see if everybody was all right, and they caught me looking at them. And one kid's like, "What you looking at, bald head?" And they started laughing. I laughed. I wasn't like, if I was in a bad mood, I might have been like, "Excuse me." That's why I'm opening a new foundation. She bears for Christ. She bears for Christ. Ah. We train the bears to witness and not maul the youths. It's more effective. Imagine a she grizzly bear like, have you heard the good news of Christ? Got any salmon? Bears are hard to train. Yeah, I hope so. Bears like, what the fuck? I want to do what this asshole wants. Why don't I just eat him? Walk in someone's shoes almost certainly derived from a Mary T. Lathrop poem in 1895. Now it's 21. You get the prize for useless trivia of the day, my friend. I didn't know that, though. That's good. I like trivia myself. I always thought it was an ancient Native American aphorism. Yeah, training a cat. I feel like you could train bears better than cats. Greetings from Ireland. You often get the baldy thing from the kids on the street in Ireland. Are you a bald leprechaun, are you, my friend? Hippie dad. Thanks for being here. What's up from Ireland? The Emerald Isle today. What's going on? Thanks for the likes. Triscorp. Triscorp. Sending likes. I appreciate you people. You've trained a few cats? What'd you train them to do? You ever train a cat to like perch on the toilet and take a shit in the toilet? That's impressive. When I see that, I'm like, all right. This is someone who wasted their animal training time in a fabulous way. I like cats. I love all animals, but having an animal that has to shit in a box in your house, it's like, yeah, sooner or later. Nobody needs that. Nobody needs it. If it wouldn't be so bad if cat piss didn't literally smell like the worst thing in the world. There's like nothing. Very few animal excrement smells as shitty as cat piss does, as pissy as cat piss does, I should say. I guess that ammonia, that lovely ammonia smell in your house. Don't you love it? Sooner or later, they get there. You can't fucking leave shit on the floor. I love cats too, dude. I've had cats, and I do my duty. I try to keep up with the litter box, keep it clean and stuff. But if you got people around and they're like not as tidy as you, and they're leaving towels on the floors, I never had a cat that couldn't resist. Sooner or later, you leave a pile of clothes on the floor, or don't clean the litter box good, or whatever it is, cat pissing on the pile of clothes. But you gotta find a good cat too. It's hard to find. So it's easier to find a good dog, in my opinion, with personality. Like you can find a cat that's just a piece of shit that stays under the couch and never fucking interacts with anybody. And then you can find some cats. Like I'm good at choosing kittens because you have to watch. You watch how they play. You watch how they interact. You watch how their mind works, and you can find a cat. I had a cat, best cat I ever had. This cat took a rubber ball every night. Would go to the top of the basement stairs with a super ball in its mouth and drop the super ball on the stairs because it knew it would go crazy from there, and then it would chase it. This cat would play with itself all night like this. I'd never seen that before. That's fucking awesome. That's respect. Cats just a little more instinctual than dogs, right? That's why they're less trainable. They're great though. I'm no shade on cats, except for the killing songbirds is a big issue. Domestic cats weren't really meant to be domesticated. They kind of domesticated themselves. It's not like that. It's not like dogs where people are like, we can use this. It's like cats. Yeah, they just kind of followed farmers into settlements. They followed humans into agricultural settlements that started popping up as we got to that point in our evolution, and they followed rats into the grain stores and whatnot, and just became used to being around humans and basically domesticated themselves. That's how that happened. So yeah, they're awesome, but that's the problem. You let your cat outside, it kills songbirds. It's a huge problem. You can look up the numbers on the damage that cats do when they don't need to eat birds. It'd be one thing if they were wild and they needed to eat, but they don't need to eat, right? When they get fed. And then the songbird population, there's been studies done, and it's really shocking. And if you declaw them, that's horrible. I wouldn't do that to an animal. So yeah, it's tough road, But I'm with you, crazy cat lady. If they get a flap on the door, they can go out because cats prefer to piss outside, and that's where you want to piss in. As a gardener, I know it's like you go around the garden, you can always tell. It's like, oh yeah, here's the spot where the fucking cat pisses. It just stinks after a while. It's terrible. But that's always best. But then you deal with that other problem. It's like, Jesus, and then, or your cat gets run over the road. Nobody wants that. Good Godless is looking at your chipped up nail polish. You get yourself to the salon, my girl. What are you doing? You need to step it up. The gels were only $10 extra. And so yeah, you can do it, man. But thank you. Thanks for the compliment. Double O, what's up? 007. My guy, it has been a while. The thing about biblical prophecy is that it's all bullshit. My dog helped me raise 2 kids. That's cute. That's cute. Who doesn't love the kittens getting along with puppies? And dogs loving on cats, and cats loving on birds. Who's not a sucker for those videos, right? Are you excited for the JWST mission going well? Can't wait for the discoveries to come. What's JWST? JWST. Oh yeah, the telescope. Yeah. I'm new on the abbreviations. Yeah, man. I'm like, I can't wait for them to discover God. They're gonna fucking finally have a telescope big enough to see God behind his cloud out there. Idiots. There was some guy, somebody sent around something crazy to the email thread for the FFRFs. We're all in a thread together, so somebody can contact us all at once about how they're going to discover the aliens that seeded us here. The whole alien conspiracy thing, and like, oh, all these facts. They're finally going to use the telescope to see. It was like, wow, somebody put thought into this conspiracy theory. Like, whoo, what do people do, man? Don't people have to have jobs? They can like sit and think of this fucking shit. It was stone cold crazy. If we're going to love fictional characters, then I'd rather love Jessica Rabbit. Ooh, boy, Chris Burrow's taking me back. Whoever wanted to shag a cartoon worse than we all wanted to hit Jessica Rabbit when we were in 1987, right? Still a great movie, man. Really groundbreaking in the way it melded the cartoons with the live action. Why atheist? Chips Echo. Why atheist? Why would you be anything else? Why would you be anything else? All you have to do is take one look at religion and realize it was made up by men. So I mean, someone made up the God concept too at some point. Why would anyone be anything but an atheist? Unless you're so lost in your soul, in your spirit, in your psyche. When I say spirit and soul, I don't mean your immortal soul. I mean inside you. You have to get along with your fucking brain. If you can't, and religion is what's going to calm it down, then that's why. If you don't need that in your life, if you're satisfied not knowing the answers, if you understand that we're just animals on a planet with other animals, and that we're doing our best to fuck up what we have here instead of taking care of it, we're 3/4 of the world or whatever is concentrating on a life that we don't even know is to come, and worshiping a deity that we don't even know exists. It's silly. Why would anyone even have to ask? Why atheist? Anyone who uses their senses to estimate what's going on in the universe is an atheist. If you're using your wishful thinking, if you're using your imagination, if you're using your spiritual life, and I'm not throwing shade on that. I get that. And I have a sense of wonder myself. I have that. God, isn't that what a coincidence? Are we all somehow we're all connected, and there's this so we just can't explain, and this sense of something greater than ourselves. Yeah, none of that says God to me. None of it, because there's no reason to put it to God. None of it. There's no reason at all. It just can't be science we don't know yet, or just our complicated brains making shit up. I'm perfectly confident or perfectly comfortable not having a problem with that. It's until there's a reason to think that any religion or any belief in an unseen deity that doesn't interact with us is shown, then being an atheist is the only logical explanation, and then we'd all be atheists, except for the people who needed to make up religion. If there was no religion and we were all granted the scientific knowledge of today, immediately all right now, there was no religion, it would be a long time with this. It was obvious back in the day when no one had an actual answer. But nowadays, if you started from zero and saw how long, sure, it would happen. There'd be cult leaders and idiots out there who make up some shit because there's always gonna be gullible, emotionally weak people who need that crutch. So yeah, it would sooner or later it would pop up, but not like it did now. It was a natural curve. Religion was going to made so much sense to people when they didn't have any answers. And now the more answers we have and the more knowledge we have and the more people have access to that knowledge, religion is on a downward slope. So it's a trend. Like the earlier commenter said, that's the trend. Religion is the trend. Atheism is what's what. We wouldn't even need a name for it if it wasn't for the advent of theism at some point. So please, why? Whenever people ask me why atheism, I'm like, why would you choose anything else? The only reason most people have any other choice is because they were brought up in it. They were born into it, and they were indoctrinated into it, and they were just culturally conditioned to think that it was right. The people that came to it organically on their own make up a minority of religious people that confident saying that. People are like born without religion, raised by unreligious people, and then flock to religion in middle age. It happens to some people, yes, without question, and even lots of people, but not most people, not many people, not all people, not even close. That's just not the way it works. My thoughts on other intelligent life in the universe. I believe there's probably some life in the universe that's more or less as evolved as we are, because the universe is the same age. So any other planet, we're going to use the term M-class planet, like from Star Trek, right? Because we all know what that means, right? It's not a scientific term, but a rocky planet far enough away from the sun that it has water that can sustain life. There's likely dozens of places like that or more. The universe is so huge. There's just so many stars, so many systems that the fine tuning and the random chance arguments that theists come up with and creationists come up with don't hold any water with me. These are just people who don't really understand how big the universe is. It seems to us like it's chance because we can't see any from here. But the sheer size of the universe to me says that there's probably other planets that had the same situation and have similar evolved life. It's unlikely that they would have had enough time to be so far advanced from where we are that they could have traveled here in spaceships. That's really unlikely. They've likely evolved, if everything worked out for them, about as far as we have. And maybe they got lucky and got over religion and got further down the road faster. But yeah, there's literally billions. It's just crazy. It's just these people just don't get it. People don't have a big enough brain, and I'm not pretending I do because there's shit that I don't get, but I do get how ridiculously big the universe is. So the whole, we're so fast. You think this is random? No, I think we're lucky to be one of the places, but I'm sure there's many, many, many places that have life in the universe. Yeah, it should be illegal to teach kids religion until they can decide for themselves. I feel that there's got to be some way to do that. It really should. It's like a drug. It's self-medication. It should be for adults. And it harms kids' minds and their critical thinking skills to be indoctrinated into religion at a young age. The other alternative is to simply is educate them all to all of it right away. As soon as they're in the public school, they all get educated as to philosophy. Yeah, there are much older star systems. But this is not me talking. This is an astrophysicist that I interviewed that told me this. So there are older star systems, but not so much older that you could likely assume that the people on those have advanced to a point where they could overcome the physics that we would have to overcome. Everybody's going to have to overcome the same physics, and that's traveling at the speed of light or above to get to places that are so far away that you never or being able to put yourself in stasis. Yeah, there's maybe life that's more advanced than us, but it's unlikely that any of it is advanced enough to have traveled here and traveled here in the ancient past and are coming back. There's just no evidence for that. There's a damn good chance there's life in Europe. Yes, I've been to Europe. I can confirm that there is life on Europe. In Europe, facts matter. One for you. I'm teasing. Of course, you mean Europa. Yeah, I think that they're really optimistic that the ice of Europa contains organic material, at least that they can point to. The possibility of life, or will help them understand how life evolved in our solar system. I never purport to know for sure about any particular theory that I hold. Yeah, me neither. I just sound like I do. I live in Europe and I can confirm we don't exist. Thank you. Yes. Let's all go. There's no one in Europe. It's empty, my friends. And this place is fucked. So let's go to Europe. What do you want? I claim Switzerland. I'll take Switzerland. Fuck y'all. You can all take what you want. Rationality and critical thinking skills should always come first for kids. Yes, of course. Otherwise, that's why it's child abuse. If you're robbing of your child, you're robbing your child of their chance to be as smart as she could possibly be, then that's child abuse. How can you say it's not? The people are like, "Oh, religion's not child abuse." People, yes, kids are perfectly fine being religious. I never suffered any of it. You don't fucking know. You don't know. Maybe it doesn't seem like you've been abused, but if you're not as smart as you could have been because of something your parents did, how do you not call that abuse? How do you not call that abuse? Disprove God? Spell disprove. I know for sure the theory of evolution is true. We all know the theory of evolution is true. It's evidently true. There's mountains of evidence for evolution. I'm Danish and can confirm we are indeed real and alive. Yes, well, that's comforting, non-crazy crazy cat lady. Because when I show up on your doorstep to shag you rotten, it's going to be a disappointment if you're not there. He who made the Pleiades and Orion, the Lord is his name. What if you saw those star clusters from a different angle, from another planet? Would they be the Pleiades and Orion? No. That's maybe the second dumbest comment of the day. Thanks, though, man, my friend. I love it. Maybe being sarcastic. Tony Clancy, 17. Oh, he's 17. We can't believe God is real. Well, there's no evidence for it. I mean, thank you, bloody hypocrisy. Yeah, I'm not. I love that. It'd be a greater story than the Jesus stories, but it's all conspiracy theories. There's no evidence of it. It's fun. It's fun science fiction. It's fun to think about, right? And when they come up with the evidence, I'll believe. What's wrong? It's funny how atheism and space are commonly somehow united. Well, I think atheists are into science. The Lord's name is not God; it's Sylvester Sly. What do you think about Satanists? I love Satanists, man. They're always cool. Always cool to me, man. The whole thing about religion is believing. Yeah, that's exactly it. You gotta say that it's a belief then. Don't try to tell me it's true. So we all have to live by your fucking book because you think it's true. Christians have adopted the idea that the word theory, well, they don't know what theory means. They don't know what theory means in terms of a scientific theory. Like theory, I have a theory. I have a theory that bald guys are smarter. That's not a scientific theory. That's just an idea that I have, right? So there's difference. We use the word, they don't know what a scientific theory is. And the more they talk about it, the more it becomes obvious that they don't. They're like, that's why I thought it's like a third graders arguing, right? It's just a theory, not a fact. Idiots. Everyone knows God's name is Skippy. What if God was real and his name was Skippy? You're like, you spent your entire life doubting me, preaching against me. What do you have to say for yourself? Well, I'm sorry, Skippy. You didn't sow it. You just didn't tell us you were real, man. Skippy. And why are you named after peanut butter? Anybody else hear the theory that Jesus had a twin brother and he faked the resurrection? Gee, what if you were Jesus's twin, right? You're like the complete opposite, right? You're out there smoking weed, shagging babes. You shouldn't criticize Christians so much. Actually, thank you very much, Nimstodonics, whatever that means. But I should actually criticize Christians more, and we all should. They're a fucking embarrassment. Glad to hear. I'm considering joking the Satanic Temple. They can take a joke. So yeah, go ahead. More power to you. Love what you were doing. Thanks, Shutterbug. Shutterbug Fly Fisherman. Facts. I think the Muslims think that Jesus was sacrificed, not his twin necessarily, but a lookalike, right? That's their great theory there. Where's the facts to, where's the evidence to back that one up? That's how they, Jesus wasn't crucified. God saved him at the last minute and sent a lookalike. That's Muslim tradition to believe that. Go to your Skippy place. There's a comedian with a song about Jesus' brother, Craig Christ. I don't know what that means. The burden of proof is on those who are saying God is real. Yeah, that which is asserted with no evidence can be dismissed with no evidence. Yeah, the rural areas are beautiful. Thanks. I know you're talking to Chris, but yeah. I personally am a Buddhist, but who am I to force others to believe the same? You are nobody to force anybody to believe the same. Somebody finally like pointed out something that's really wrong with Buddhism, and I saw a video and I talked a little bit about this, but I had never thought about this. Buddhism teaches mindfulness, right? And what this really is religion, is Buddhists' way of keeping the people down, because instead of standing up against injustice, you need to be more mindful. It puts the onus on the victim. Again, it's like, instead of being angry that you're being discriminated against, why don't you just be more mindful of the place that that person's coming from, and instead of acting out, put up with it. And it gets people to settle for their lot in life instead of standing up for what's right. It's really, really dangerous. And I never actually thought about that aspect, because you think about Buddha, people are like, what do you think about Buddhism? Man, what can you really say? There's too much like creepy, weird subcults of Buddhism where people are just trying to meet babes, and take advantage of people sexually and otherwise, and become, little Trumps, become megalomaniacs and little demagogues in their own little world. There's a lot of that goes on in Buddhism. There's systemic rape of young boys in Buddhist temples. There's a lot of little problems like that. But in general, Buddhism really gets a pass, right, as a religion of peace. But when this chick put this video up, I'm like, there's a point right there, man. Really, Buddhism teaches people to be docile like other religions. I mean, it's just another way of government to control you, or any kind of authority figure to control you and keep you down and keep you from rising up and taking what's yours. I'd rather see it as they don't know any better, and getting angry doesn't help. Yeah, but see, that's dangerous sometimes. Getting angry does help sometimes, and change doesn't come by being mindful and submissive. I didn't know Libertarian Party was a subset of Buddhism. I didn't know that either, man. Yeah, it creates victimhood. Exactly. Thank you. All right, gang. It's 12 noon. I'm going to go and blast off. Thank you so much, as always, for being here. I love being with you guys. It's really makes my week, and appreciate it so much. Check in next Wednesday. I'll be here, like always. And we'll see you on the vids. Until then, remember to follow us wherever you can, on the Instagrams, on the Twitter, on the Facebook, on the YouTubes, and check us out on Patreon, Atheist Underground at patreon.com. The new podcast will be coming out soon. I made a lot of progress on it, a very horrifying story of sexual abuse and the ineffectiveness of the church in being any kind of help in this situation that this poor gal had. So look forward to that. As always, you can find those at atheistunderground.com or on any of your normal podcast platforms, iTunes, or Spotify. All right. Love you guys. I would make love to each one of you in a row if I could. And take it easy. Have a great rest of your Sunday.